Good morning, everyone. And at the outset, I would like to thank IMC, Jawad sir, and all the senior panel members over here for this opportunity. I can just, in short, I can say that this is a silent revolution that is taking place coming from Lucknow. I can clearly see the concern for community mediation in this gathering is really, really inspiring. So a couple of observations from my side on this. One is that we know that we are traditionally a collaborative society. British introduced the adversarial system to us like we know it today. Uh, but then, what are we doing to the conflict resolution system ourselves when we are acting as independent nation? That is also something that we need to take care. My understanding is that perhaps Part 3 of the Arbitration and Conciliation Act of 1996 was more flexible in terms of its effect and import as compared to the latest law on mediation that came in 2023. Uh, it gave us more space to evolve mediation as a cultural practice, and perhaps my idea is that maybe the good points of the Mediation Act could have been simply added to the Part 3 through an amendment. That could have done the job. But nevertheless, the kind of system we have now, my sense is that if we are talking about mediation as a culture, it is important that we don't take mediation towards too much of formalism or state sanctioned practice. So that can be there, like Jawad sir said, that it is okay in its place. But then if we want to take mediation to the grassroots and we want to make mediation a commonplace practice, then perhaps this is something that we need to essentially do in order to get it mainstreamed. Now, the focus of this session, I believe, is on taking mediation to the youth. And one of the things that formalism or state sanction does to any practice, it makes it very bureaucratic, and too much of paperwork and all of those things come. So that perhaps drifts away the youth who are young entrants into the system, and it can become very difficult for them to really get going when it comes to mediation right from the beginning. In fact, there is this United Nations Security Council resolution. It came in 2015. The title of that resolution is Youth, Peace and Security. So that resolution is important for the fact that for the first time, youth was recognized of the breach of peace, but also someone who can positively contribute towards the maintenance of peace and security. And three proposals were given in that resolution, and I think they fit perfectly well in the Indian context also. So one is that we have to reach out to the youth through making connections. And they divided connections into three aspects. One is the in-room mediations that we do. For example, court annex mediations. So there is a lot of gatekeeping in court annex mediations also at times, because the young mediators find it very difficult to get into the mediation right from the beginning. Some courts have the rules of having a 10 years minimum practice, etc., etc. So that, having said that, so in-room mediation is not very inclusive at this stage. Then they said that there is something known as outside mediation or around the room mediation, where local youth can be involved at the community level, where they can, through seminars, through workshops, university programs, even school programs for that matter, we can catch them young, establish connections with them, and have it as a part of our, mediation program at the national level. So these are some of the things which were suggested by the United Nations Security Council, and I think that reaching out to the youth is extremely critical in that sense. The next question is, how do we do that? Because it's easy to say that catch them young, but how do we catch young, passionate mediators? That is something that we need to work upon. A couple of ideas that I would have with me is that, see, mediation is something which is so skillful. Apart from being so productive, it is so skillful that it gives you the life skills which are useful in any stream whatsoever. So it would be useful for your job, because in job you would be requiring communication, you would be requiring negotiations, you would be requiring a certain collaborative skill. In fact, World Economic Forum identifies collaboration as one of the top 5 skills that the future generation would be needing. So we can package the idea of mediation in a way that appeals to the youth, and they are attracted towards it in terms of future career prospects also. And I'm sure that would allow them to be the mediators in whatever space they are, as an ombudsman in a corporate setting, or as a community level mediator, as a village level mediator. So I think that can work wonders. Along with that, maybe capacity building programs. When we talk about trainings, 40-hour trainings, etc., etc., I would suggest you one reading material. If you can have a look at that, it's available on a click of button. That is written by Mr. David Hoffman, one of the top mediators in the world, and the title of the article is "Mediator as a Village Elder." And the second reference material that I would like to share with you is the 76th Law Commission report, which traces the Indian history of how we used to resolve our disputes before, the formal state sanctioned dispute system came in. So we had the system of Pug, Shreni, Kul, where community mediations were there, where commercial mediations were there, where individual issues were resolved uh, without going to the king's court at the local level itself. So these are the things which are our collective heritage, and this is somewhere where we are lacking as well. So once we have established the connection with the youth, once we have trained them, not just in training, but also in conflict analysis, we then move on to collaboration. We can then have them associated with us as trained mediators and as people who are currently driving the process of mediation in the country. So I think that would work wonders. And I think if more submissions would come, I would be more than happy. Thank you so much. Thank you.